this is where we're going to bring in the man that's been up all day. Got to
He's a
give
good
Rob
man.
just a second to change over the shot here, but I'm going to just introduce the guy real quick. Alan Dreezer, we put a couple of his songs on our website to review, and Alan started coming around when the business started blooming a little bit, and it's been fun to watch his career. I was telling him earlier. And so this guy's in London. It's about 10 after 3 in Rob's already. So Alan Dreezer, welcome to the show as featured artist. How are you doing this morning?
Hi guys, good morning to you. As I was saying off air, I'm not sure if it's really early or really late, but I'm here anyway.
Yep. So you're one of the few, but not the only international person that we've had on here. So really appreciate you taking the time to stay up. We're gonna stroke your ego though, so you might as well. I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
I didn't get up for nothing then.
All right. So Alan, what I do here is I want you to sort of give your elevator pitch to everybody, who you are and what you're doing. About 30 to 60 seconds. You can explain a little bit about Unknown. We'll take a listen to that, and we'll come back and get deeper with Dave.
Sure. So I've been a solo. I was in a few bands for a number of years before deciding to kind of do the music that I really wanted to do, which is kind of electro pop. So I've been doing that since late 2016. Recorded an album over that 18-month period, released it in July. London E12 is the name, which is where I came from. And this is the current single, Unknown, which is the opening track of the album. And it was the first song I wrote for the album, so it was a natural album opener for that reason.
I really like that name of the album too. It's a really cool name. Hopefully Dave will ask you about it. So let's go ahead and listen to Unknown. Let us know what you think in the comments, everybody, wherever you are on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, DSound, DTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever.
It's a lot of stuff.
Unknown, I'm meeting you soon. Got great expectations and nothing to lose. Unknown, I'm walking with you. Will you have all my answers or burst my balloon? You don't frighten me, 'cause you got all I need. I just wanna leave. Won't you help me please? All I know is I have to get away, to be someone different. Don't care what people say. Just because I do this doesn't make it right. Unknown, won't you help me? 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. No more. 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. Screaming, you've seen my heart bleed. Unknown, I'm taking a chance for all the right reasons. It's time to watch me dance. You don't frighten me, 'cause you got all I need. I just wanna leave. Won't you help me please? All I know is I have to get away, to be someone different. Don't care what people say. Just because I do this doesn't make it right. Unknown, won't you help me?
Deeper with Dave, deeper with Dave. Oh yeah.
Sponsored by
How It Feels to Chew 5 Gum. New 5 Gum. Stimulate your senses.
Last time we reviewed your music, Alan, I remember I mentioned Hozier as a reference, and you were telling me before the show you took the opportunity to go listen to more of his stuff and become a fan. So I think that's pretty cool. But I have two new ones tonight.
Oh,
with
okay.
this song. I'm feeling this tune is somewhere between The Weeknd and Duran Duran. And that, I know that's a really wide spectrum right there, but do either of those bands mean anything to you?
Yeah, well, actually, I referenced the Weeknd's, one of the Weeknd, I think it was Starboy for the drum sound.
Yeah.
And I think the producers captured that, so that's really good. So what you got that spot on. Well done.
Cool.
And Duran, well, yeah, I mean, I've loved them for years anyway. So any reference to that is good news for me.
All right, man. So you kind of said it earlier, but I was reading your bio, and you made it pretty clear that while you were playing with other bands in the past, you weren't doing what you want to do, right? So before we get into that, I'm curious, what style of music were the other bands that you were playing in?
More rock sound, so guitar based. And I've never been it was a great experience. I'm really proud of some of the stuff that I wrote with that band. But it just wasn't really me, and it wasn't really what inspired me the most. And the bands, back to like the Human League and Depeche Mode and stuff like that is what I grew up really loving. So when I kind of made the decision to step away from the band, I thought, this is my sound. This is where I want to go after. And I'm also into some people like Sohn and SG Lewis and stuff like that. They're out at the moment. They're kind of inspiring.
Yeah, man. Like Human League and Depeche. I mean, those are another ones that you can hear some of those, the remnants of their sound and your style and everything. So the electro pop type of style that's been kind of tugging at your coat strings for decades, or what? I mean, like, how long have you been playing live and writing music?
Well, I don't really want to say, Dave, live on TV, but it's over 20 years anyway.
About 20. Okay.
In different things, yeah.
So this is what I want to figure out. I'm trying to figure out going through the bio and talking to you is that, like, you've had these references, these influences, your hero bands going back to the 80s and everything. And when you decide to start playing in a band, you don't do that style. Why did you do that first and then come around the back end to your own stuff?
Okay, well, I just happened to work with it was a work colleague, and he said, what do you do in your spare time? And I was like, well, I used to be in bands. I kind of had a bit of a break from music. And he was like, well, we're in this kind of rock pop band, but the lead singer's just left. Do you want to come and just have a jam with us? And it turned into about 4 or 5 years. So it was just it was just a new experience with me writing with a guitarist as opposed to, a synth. So
well, you know what? I mean, it may be, when you look back, it might have been the impetus to kind of kick you in the arse to do your own stuff.
Yeah.
Is them pulling you into the live band. It's like, all right, I'll do it. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is fun. Having a good time here. You know what? I think I'm just going to, at some point, I'm going to just do my own stuff.
You've hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Kind of after about a year or two, it became obvious. I really loved writing and performing again, but not necessarily in that genre.
AlandDreezer.com. That's his website. You can see a bunch of his videos, his bio, and a bunch more links to his music. How about Twitter, Facebook? Is it the same handle?
Twitter is at Alan_Dreezer, and Facebook is Alan Dreezer Official.
Great pleasure having you on, man. We're going to have you come back as a critic, hopefully, if you want to stay up late again.
I'll be back. Thank you very much.
All right, cool, man.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day, man.